I did not feel brave when I got the invitation. I felt tired, heavy, and honestly a bit broken. A month after my mum died, the last thing I needed to be doing was flying into a country buried in conflict, especially when there was a lot of conflict happening inside of me. Yet something in me knew that I needed to go. And sometimes the moments that crack you open start with a flight that you almost cancelled. When I got a tap on the shoulder from my pastor friend asking me if I wanted to come to Israel, the answer was so simple: no. This is just not what I needed right now. But after praying and spending lots of time talking to friends and family, here I was, landed in Israel for a once-in-a-lifetime trip. It was very special because it was the first trip I was taking with my mum. I managed to find a chain, and in that chain I put my mum's hair, and so it felt like she was traveling with me. This was a trip that maybe if she was still here, we would have taken together. And this trip was special because so many childhood memories were being unlocked. I was that kid that grew up in Sunday school, going to church 3-4 times a week. And so I would fall asleep with the Bible open, imagining these places. I never thought I would actually be standing in them, walking the very streets. It wasn't just about going through items on the itinerary. For me, there was an inner shift happening. I grew up reading names like Jerusalem and Galilee, but I never ever imagined they were real places I would actually walk through. It's interesting how you could spend your whole life hearing stories and suddenly you find yourself in one. It really messes with your sense of scale. You realize that your life is much smaller than you thought, but at the same time, much bigger. There was a lot of fear surrounding this trip. I came last year, June. It was a time in Israel where rockets were still being fired. The air felt very tense. All of us on the trip were mentioning it. How did we convince our wives or our families that this was the right thing to do? The streets we're walking through, even right now, felt very alert. Yet in a very strange way, the fear made everything sharper. I realized on this trip that sometimes fear actually isn't a stop sign. Sometimes fear is a sign that the thing in front of you really matters. And so as we're walking through these streets, I am taking everything in. All my senses are alert. I'm watching everything. I'm listening to everything. And I just keep thinking one thing throughout the whole trip: I cannot believe I'm actually here. You see, Israel's only 2,400 miles away from the UK. But being from the UK, living in the UK my whole life, a lot of my psyche is Western. So being in this part of the world, I start seeing how things work, how everyone's different. People here are loud, they're energetic, they're sharing their perspectives, they're shouting, they're talking, they're touching. Very different to growing up in the UK and being on the tube where no one talks to each other, everyone's looking down, and if you're speaking too loud, someone's gonna let you know. I'm walking through and sitting on a bus looking out, and I'm seeing a colourful country with a vivid people. I'm meeting Palestinians, I'm meeting Israelis, I'm meeting Druze, and they're all sharing different parts of their story and how it connects. I realized there's so many perspectives on the land. I grew up studying about this region, but coming here changed my whole view. I realized there's so much more that I don't know about this region. And it's one thing to study a region, it's another thing to be there and connect with the people, asking them stories. This trip totally changed my perspectives, and in some ways that I'm still figuring out the direction of my life, in ways I just could not see at the time. You cannot always wait to feel brave before you move. You have to move first, and then the courage grows after. If there's something that you're maybe scared to do, you should just do it. At the end of the road, you might find a version of yourself you did not know was waiting. I knew going on this trip would open up a whole world. Some people were disappointed, some were excited. But for me, it was a trip I needed to take that opened the whole world. I'm going to share a bit of this during this series I'm starting, where I'll be looking at the trip I took to Israel last year and all the things that unfolded.